What a warm and beautiful day!
Tattoo with a needle and thread. Most of our old friends are dead, so test your drugs, remember Narcan. There's a war on the people, what don't you understand? There's
Americana and folk musician Alinda Segarra has returned for their 9th studio album as Hurray for the Riff Raff, called The Past Is Still Alive. The Past Is Still Alive follows their incredible and standout album, Life on Earth, which saw Alinda experimenting with more electronic and pop sounds compared to their folk punk, and Americana beginnings. The Past Is Still Alive is not quite a return to form, but channels the pop sound from the previous album to an alt-country direction. And I have to say, it still sounds incredible. The album opens with the standout track, Alibi, which was a runner-up for one of my best songs of last year. As an opener, it has this riding into town vibe, which really sets the mood for the album. I love the very washed-out steel guitar sounds that add both the country element, but also this weird sense of ambience. Alinda even has this country swagger as they are trying to convince the romantic partner from gambling on some sort of illegal activity, while Alinda is reflecting on how they're tired of being an alibi. It is just a beautiful and heartfelt ballad and a great way to introduce this project. We then get the tragic and touching song, Buffalo. The song on its surface is about being patient in a relationship, taking your time, enjoying the wait, with catching a buffalo being used as a metaphor. However, there is also this undercurrent of species dying off, and that our time on this earth is short, and there is almost no more time left to see all of the world's natural beauty. In this sense, we need to appreciate it all while we still have the time to appreciate it. 2 weeks just to catch a buffalo is a line then that seems both romantic about taking your time, being patient, but is also a painful reminder of how rare buffalo stampedes now are. The songwriting here is just top notch. Things pick up with the more rocking Hawk Moon. There is a lot of subtext in this song. We are introduced to someone named Ms. Jonathan, who Alinda witnesses being abused, but they are also infatuated by Miss Jonathan's fishnet tights and the dildo she proudly displays on her car antenna. You get this sense that the abuse is the result of Miss Jonathan being different, although different here representing someone who is clearly queer, coded at least. Alinda also reflects on their own hard edges as they blur gender expectations, singing on the chorus, "I'm becoming the kind of girl that they warned me about." Throughout the rest of most of the album, Alinda refers to themselves as a boy instead of a girl, but you could see this kind of gender expectations breaking down in this song specifically. The song has this almost melancholic yet uplifting vibe to it, as though they are sinking into finally being themselves, while also mourning the hardships that needed to be overcome to end up being who they truly are. Colossus of Rhodes is a stunningly beautiful queer love song. The music feels so tender, as if you are being held in someone's arms. There's also this great line, "Say goodbye to America, I wanna see it dissolve," which feels like a big fuck you to the heteronormative patriarchy that continues to harm the LGBTQ+ community. We then get the title track, Snake Plant, The Past Is Still Alive. And goddamn, what a beautiful song. This is an expansive Americana tune with horns and reverb-soaked guitars. The song reflects on Alinda's past, where they would sneak onto freight trains at the age of 17, riding across America, playing folk tunes. It also is a tragic story about the people they met along the way who are still being ignored by society and are also dying of drug overdoses. But there is also this sense of overcoming the worst of it, and now nothing will stop Alinda. The past remains alive within them, and it has made them stronger. The song Vetiver continues these same themes of queer love, of being on the run. We get a reference here to Stonewall and a repeat of the title of the album, that the past is remaining alive. But I feel this song is less impactful than the rest of the album. There is this wild ripping steel guitar solo as well that I also don't feel lands as well as it could. It is not a terrible song, it just doesn't leave a positive lasting impact. The track Hourglass is an interesting song. It is a very sad sounding track with soft acoustic guitar, piano, we have brushed drums and strings in the mix. It is very soft. Lyrically, Alinda is singing about missing their partner, but there is also this sense of not belonging to the rest of society. Everyone is boring or too high class. They are talking about the famous people they know, or they're related to them, and Alinda reflects on the fact that they used to eat out of a garbage bin, and you get the sense that they are aware of how undignified that was, and how now it is a part of them, and it is still with them. The past is alive, but not necessarily as a positive this time. Instead, it is like traumatizing, and this also seems to impact the relationships, as it is possibly the reason for why they are fighting with their partner all the time, and why their partner has left, either permanently or to get away from this current fight. Dynamo, like Vetiver, is another song that I'm not in love with. It is this folksy ballad about their baby being on the run, possibly in relation to the fight from the previous track. It just lacks a lot of the depth found on the other tracks on this album, even though it sounds decent enough. We then get the wonderful duet, The World is Dangerous, featuring Connor Oberst of Bright Eyes. It is a romantic, slow dance song about loving someone unconditionally, even though everything sucks. The world is crumbling. Alinda has to keep moving, however they will never stop loving. Even when you think less of yourself, even when everyone else leaves, you get the point. They will keep loving, and it's just a great song. We then get the dreamy closing track, Ogallala, about running from the law in a Nebraska town. The song is just so warm with what sounds like a tuba in the mix. There's a lot of horn elements in the song as well. They sing that the world is falling apart, and Alinda drops the great line that they are like the band that kept playing while the Titanic sunk. It's just a stellar closer on this album and really wraps up all of the themes throughout. If you compare this to their previous album, I feel like Life on Earth had some better individual songs, but I also think that The Past is Still Alive is way more consistently good. I also love how there is a story being told on this album, a deeply personal story mixed in with these Western motifs of cowboys, outlaws, and running from the law. These songs are sweet and pretty, but with a lot of character to them. Overall, I would give this album an 8.5 out of 10. What did you think of this album? Did you love it? Did you not love it? Let me know in the comment section down below. You can like this video, you can subscribe to the channel, everything helps, and yeah, what a great album. Check it out.